Hello, students. I wanted to share with you what you will be doing in class today, and it will be coming from physicsclassroom.com. So if you would go to your computers and type in physicsclassroom.com, okay? What we'll be doing, you'll be doing some really cool, what we call physics interactives, where you'll be practicing some great skills that you need to, make sure you can master before the summative. So go to physicsclassroom.com and then click on Physics Interactives. So once you're there, I'm going to have you to scroll and to get to our topic, which is 1D kinematics, and then click on 1D kinematics interactives. All right. So within the 1D kinematic interactives, there are several games that you're going to be using to test your knowledge, okay? So let me scroll and show you all of the interactives that are there, okay? So the first one you'll see is Name That Motion. I'm going to scroll, match that graph, graph that motion, graphs and ramps, two-stage rocket. We're not going to do that one for this particular unit, so skip the two-stage rocket. Accelerometer, also skip that as well. And then the last two, distance versus displacement and vector walk. So I want you to get a sense for these and then figure out which ones you need to do first and then progress to the other. So I would suggest doing the one or the topic that you are, I would say, the least confident in, the one that you need the most practice, in other words. So I'm going to just click on each of the ones I mentioned and just show you little things to do to make sure you are understanding before we talk about the next one, okay? So let me click on Name That Motion. Okay, so all of these are pretty much the same in how they're set up. So after you click, you're going to, of course, go to Launch Interactive. Okay, now here's the part I want to make sure that you do when you are working on the interactives. It'll have this, they call it the hot button, but this will actually make the activity, the screen bigger. So I wouldn't click on Begin Activity yet. Go ahead and click on this button in the corner to make it full screen, okay? All right, so it may be cut off a little bit, but you should see Name That Motion. In this activity, you will view 11 animations and make an effort to match each animation to a verbal description. Okay, so now is when you click on Begin Activity. So you have all these animations. I'm just going to pick one. Let's see, animation 4, and it's going to show a short video up here. Okay, so each of these, it says tap a letter to view a description. So let's just click A and see what it says. Okay, so let's see if this verbal description matches the picture or the short video of the motion here. Okay, it says the description, the car moves with a rightward velocity and a rightward acceleration. So, well, let's see, that's going to the left, so I know that's not going to be it. So you would just click on each of these descriptions to see which one works. Okay. So some of these, like letter D, it has actually three things going on in the description. So you may have a video that has different things happening in the motion. So make sure you pay attention to that, just in case you're like, wow, there's too many things going on. There's no way we can have the description. So just make sure you are aware that there are that there can be multiple things happening at one throughout the motion. Okay, multiple things. Okay, then once you think it is the right one, then you'll click check, and then it'll tell you if you got it right. So I know this isn't right, but I'm just going to click it. So, oh, that wasn't correct. So it'll give you a chance to try again, and then you'll see these little awards coming up. All right, so that is Name That Motion. Okay, so I'm going to press Escape and go back to the different choices. Okay, I'm going to press back one more time. Sorry about that. Okay, back again. So here are the interactives. Okay, so that was name that motion. Match that graph and graph that motion are pretty much the same. So you should be able to follow pretty quickly how to use those other interactives, okay? So I've clicked on match that graph. Okay, this is loading. All right. And so you'll read the discussions and you can type your name here, and I'm just going to type, all right, and then start here. And so you can get different awards, okay, for how many you can master. So, of course, I don't know, some of you may start at wizard level, I don't know. But just clicking on the princess level here, look what happens here. It says, it may be cut off for you guys on the top, but it says consider the given graph, match it to the corresponding graph on the right that describes that motion. Okay, so let's see. Will this actually work when the graph on the right describes it? Okay, so here's the given graph, and you have to actually click on this one on the right for the one that matches what's going on here. Okay, then you can check your answer and you'll see how well you're doing. Okay, so that's the key for that one. Okay, so let's go to the next interactive. Okay, let me go back. All right, then graph that motion. That's the third interactive. So I do want you to be working on these in class so that you can really check your knowledge and understanding. It's very important that you're doing your best to do these on your own, as we talked about before. So here we go, graph that motion. Okay, let's expand on that one. All right, same thing with the animations. Okay, but let's see. Okay, so this is a little bit different because this has perhaps several things going on. It's kind of more expanded than the first one, okay? So now look, we have the dots, the motion map, and then we have the graph, okay? So you click on all of those to see how well your knowledge and mastery is, okay? All right, we're gonna go back, okay, and go back again. All right, so those are all kind of graph related, okay? Graphs and ramps, this is pretty good as well. I like this one. It's not going to be as exact. You'll see what I mean when we launch this one. Okay, so this one is a little bit different. This one, we have to actually create all of these motions, okay? Constant, let's say distance versus time. We have to create all of these motions. Oh, let me go back, sorry. Create them with the ramps, okay? So for example, if I want motion to have constant speed, okay? All right, so right now, okay, it'll only give me a certain amount of time, but I need to adjust the ramps to be able to create a constant speed situation. So maybe this will give it to me. And again, this is a distance, or really should say position versus time. I can change how fast I want this graph to go. And then up here, I can start it. So it's not quite the green graph. So you have to create the green graph with the ramp that you created. Okay, so let me go back. So obviously this is too slow, okay? So let's see. Oops, I didn't mean to go back that far. So, okay, so I have to create that. So it'll draw it on there. And then let me see if I can, I want constant velocity, so I don't need any ramps in here. So let me see if I can increase the launch speed in order to match this green graph. Okay, still not fast enough, okay, but there was an improvement than before, okay? All right, so what I was saying earlier is that sometimes you can't get the exact green graph, okay? And it can be very frustrating. So as long as you're getting as close as possible to it, then go on to the next one. I don't want you to spend 30 minutes trying to, get this, but trying to match the exact green graph. But if you're getting close as possible to it, then that's showing that you are understanding how to match the particular motions, okay? All right, so try all of these. These are like pretty fantastic. So constant speed. Oh, okay. So you have two different things going on. So how can I create or shift? You can change all of these, okay? So don't be afraid to move things around, okay? All right, so that is the ramps and graphs. All right, they get pretty complex, so play around with those. And then the last two are, where is it? Yes, distance versus displacement. Let me click on that one. All right, launch this thing. All right. And of course, you can practice these at home as well, but I do want you to really get into testing your knowledge, okay? Start. All right, same thing. So let's see what's going on with this one. All right, so we have a verbal description. A shopper, this is the example, first example. A shopper walks westward 5.4 meters and then eastward 7.8 meters. So for this motion, what is the distance moved? Okay, so I can type in numbers here. Oops, type in numbers, whatever you think it may be, or you can use this. So you can use the touchpad, okay? So that's a good feature to have. Perhaps if you're doing this on your phone, if you don't have your computer, these work pretty well on your phone as well. All right, so that's this one, pretty straightforward. And then the direction, of course, for displacement, of course, we need direction. So you would click on that to fill in the appropriate direction, okay? All right, so let me escape, go back, and let's take a look at our last interactive, which is a vector walk. I really like this one. All right. Launch the interactive and vector walk. Okay, so this describes what we're doing, okay? So it tells what distance is. It does not have direction. It says ignorant of direction, but it simply means distance is a scalar, no need for direction for distance, unlike displacement. Okay, so let's begin this activity. All right, so we have 3 different activities we want to take a look at. It says your goal is to observe the motion and determine the overall distance and displacement for each. All right, so we have a car in a parking lot travels back and forth in a parking lane in an effort to find a good parking place. Tap the start button to view the motion. So here's the car number line, right? We're only moving left to right. So if we start this, the car is going to start moving. Wow, that was a lot of motion, pretty fast too, right? But it says you can repeat this motion and watch what's going on. So let me just continue so you'll see what the next screen is. So it's going to ask you what the distance and displacement is. And it says to put your answer as a multiple of 5 meters. Enter a negative sign where appropriate. In other words, leftward is a negative direction. All right. So if we can repeat this, but what I do want to tell you is that you will determine the start position and the next location it goes to based on the front of the car. So this would be at 25 meters. So don't try to count, oh, where's the wheel, where's the back. So do everything based on the front of the car. So let me repeat this motion. Okay, whoops, it started at negative 15. It went kind of fast, you see? So really track the front of the car when you're making these calculations, okay? All right, I want to just let you know that. All right, then go back home, and then that will give you the next motion to test. Okay, so you have the skier. So always look at the front of the ski, right? And the same thing. And the last one, shopping cart and aisle. So the front of the shopping cart. Okay, you can check that. All right, so let me press escape and go back. So today you're going to be just working on these interactives, guys. We really want you to check your knowledge. You guys did a great job before in your understanding. So just work on the interactives and have a great day.